Today, alongside us is Boston Sports Desk and Jake Saltzman. Now, how did Boston Sports Desk all get started?
Give him the reel?
Yeah, give him a roll.
No, go ahead.
Okay. Kevin had a penchant for breaking into the Red Sox press box.
We didn't call it break in.
Well, he used to cover the Red Sox, and we both been out of the business for a while, and so he would just kind of walk in and get the handouts and take a look and bring them back to our seats. And so one of them actually was this last August. It was the sign-up sheet for the playoffs. So he said, "Let's sign up and let's start writing again." So Major League Baseball approved us, and we did it. And we said, "Okay, we're now legitimate, so let's go do it." And it literally was as simple as that. It was kind of fun.
Yeah, and we always like to say that we like doing it. It's something that's a passion to us, and as my brother eloquently says all the time, we were sick and tired of paying for expensive tickets and paying for food. So now we go for free and we eat for free, and we do what we like. So it's
And you get to hang out in the locker room.
and you get to hang out in the locker room and you talk sports. I mean, what's better than that?
Did it start as just a baseball thing, or has it become more than that?
No, it started as a general sports thing.
Yeah.
And it just happened to be that I kept sneaking into the Red Sox press box and talking to some of the guys I knew in there and sitting down and chatting with them during the game in the press box.
Actually, if anyone's from Red Sox is listening, he was invited in.
I was invited in, yeah,
By
if
the other
anyone the
members
Red
of the
Sox
press,
is,
right,
yeah.
a former member
of course.
himself.
Yeah.
I figured that.
We just want to make that legit here.
It wasn't breaking and entering, so
No.
to speak,
No.
so it's all good. But it started out that way, and it just has kind of snowballed from there. That at the time, and then it was Patriots season, so we called the Patriots up, and that story we cannot tell you on the air, but it is a good story. But the Patriots liked the idea. They gave us they gave us the keys.
Keys to the Kingdom.
They gave us the keys, and we get all the information that the Patriots send out. And
They let us do press conferences and all of the media days and so forth and practices. We just don't do the game stories because they're actually booked up. They don't have the room for us. But the Bruins let us in very
the
easily.
Bruins have been great. They've been, what a phenomenal group of people, the Bruins.
When you say the Bruins have been great, you mean in terms of helping you with your business?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
and us helping them as well. And
Yeah.
they'll give us the information, and we'll disseminate it accordingly. We've also got hooked up with the Bruins charitable organization, Rick Middleton's group, and they do all kinds of things in the area and promote different charitable events, and we get that out, and we participate in some of the events. I've gone to a couple of their hockey games, and it's quite the thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'd like to say we're playing in the toy store life
Yeah.
because this is not our full-time jobs, and we love sports, and so we're able to write about. We're both former writers, and we both love words. We both love to be able to put words together. And that's why we always kept up with the writing aspect of it.
yeah, I mean, we don't make any money on this. We're strictly, for lack of a better word, nonprofit. It actually costs us money to do this, but we love it. And we were talking earlier with Barbara here at
Barbara Goodman.
Barbara Goodman.
New
at-
business
at-
development.
New business
What a
development.
great person she is.
She is a great person.
It's
And-
on camera, right?
Oh yeah, no, Barbara's great. We talk on Facebook all the time.
Yeah.
And I was saying to her that this would have been perfect for my brother Mark here when he was growing up, to have something like what you guys are doing now, some kind of formal training to get into this.
Sure.
We've had to trial and learn on our
yeah.
own for, however long it's been. I mean, we went into this thing back in the 80s, flying by the seat of our pants.
Well, I was 14 years old when I wrote my first article. I didn't know what I was doing.
You just send it around and see if it gets...
No, they asked me to do I was coaching some baseball, and they asked me to write a story about the game, and they liked what I was doing, so they said, "Can you do another? And can you do more?" Well, by that time, I was no longer playing baseball,
Right.
and my career and my hopes of being in the World Series, being a World Series hero, was well gone. So I figured I might as well stick around sports and do it this way.
And now, since the statute of limitations has run out, we can let it be known too that my brother Mark here was doing some ghost writing under my name for the Brockton Enterprise way back in the 80s when I had other commitments that I couldn't make, and my brother here would bail me out and cover a game, and he'd write it up under my byline, and we'd go from there.
Well, some of that was legitimate too.
Some of it was legit, but some of it other wasn't, so much on the up and up.
He got sick one day.
I got sick, and he had to fill in for me and, bailed me out, so.
So could you briefly just describe blogging?
What was the process? We're both interested in knowing if we wanted to get started, how would we go about doing it, and what is it about blogging that appeals? How do you get people to read what you're doing? Just a brief summary of what you guys do and how you do it.
I think the biggest thing is to, one, know your subject. That you've got to be able to comment on your subject from a tremendous amount of different angles. You've got to be able to do, to keep interest, you've got to be maybe sarcastic. You've got to be right on. You've got to be solid on your point. You can't be wishy-washy at times. You've got to come at it so you've got a wide variety of people looking at you, interpreting it different ways. And if you know your subject, you can do that. I mean, you can make a joke about the LeBron James decision story. You can look at it as a solid piece of news, which it wasn't. It was garbage. And you can tackle it from a funny perspective. And people appreciate either the sense of humor or they appreciate your spin on it. It's not mainstream that you're going to find someone from whatever the Washington Post commenting on a couple of lines. Be succinct, know your stuff, and get it out there.
You know, what's your opinion? You have to want to have an opinion about something. And if you put it out there and you're good at it and you craft it in a certain way, people will want to read you. And that's the most gratifying things about doing what we're doing.
And the nice thing about blogging too is you don't want 20 paragraphs in a blog. You want to hit it hard, hit it within 3 or 4 sentences, 4 or 5 sentences, get the meat of it out there then. And by that time, there's so many different things out there for people to look at. They're going to read half your stuff and go on to something else, you know. But they've put it in the back of their head that, hey, oh, that was pretty good. I'm going to come back to that later and check it out. But with all the different sites that are out there now, with all the different people blogging, the people, they want to peruse it and then move on to something else. So you hit them, get them with it, lock them in, and I think that's one of the keys to it.
All right, Mark, Kevin, thank you for coming on the show.
Great, thanks for having us.
I love it. Keep up the good work, guys. Great job.
Thanks a lot.
All right, for Jake, Kunal, Mark, and Kevin, thank you, Boston Sports Desk. I'm Ben Weiner. You've been watching K Sports Sunday. Thanks for stopping by.